Hello, I'm Bernard Keeby. Today's session is all about understanding some key financial numbers and also appreciating just how much difference you can make to your bottom line operating profit by making a few small changes to a few key numbers. So I'll start off by explaining this diagram up here. This is called a break-even chart, and what it shows is that your sales revenue, which is the green line, starts at zero if you don't sell any volume, and as you sell more your sales go up in line, your revenue goes up in line with your volume of sales. Your costs, which is the red line, you start here with whatever your overheads are, so that'll be things like rent, rates, wages, salaries, etc. And then generally, as you produce and sell more, your costs rise because you'll have what are called direct costs or variable costs. Now sometimes you might not have any. If you're a professional agency or advisor, etc., you may not have any variable costs. It might be all fixed costs, in which case the red line would be a horizontal one. Now what happens is, as you make more revenue, the revenue starts below your costs, so you're making a loss, but as you make more sales you eventually make enough on each of those sales to pay off your overheads and overcome all of your costs, and then you start to make a profit, and this is called your break-even point, this level of output. Now the interesting thing is that if you could start your costs slightly lower and they went up slightly flatter, and you could increase your sales revenue such that it went up slightly steeper, these lines would cross significantly lower and you'll have a much bigger gap between them, which means you'll make a much bigger profit than you're currently making. And also if you increase your volume over here a bit, that means more profit as well. So let me just illustrate with some numbers. Let's just say, and these aren't atypical for sort of a manufacturing, engineering, distribution type business, the sort of ratios aren't far off. So let's say you generate 1,200 leads in a year, which is 100 a month, and you convert 60%, you'd end up with 720 new customers in a year. And let's say they spend £200 or dollars on average when they buy from you, and they buy off you twice a year, you'd end up with a turnover of $288,000 or pounds or euros. Let's say your variable costs, so you're selling things for 200 and the direct or variable cost of making them is 120. That would mean that you're making 80 profit on everything you sell. So your gross margin is 80 over 200, which is 40%. Your other overheads are 60,000. So 40% of the turnover gives you a gross profit of 115,000, and then take off the £60,000 overhead gives you an operating profit of 55,000 just over. And the figure in red is your net margin. So your gross margin's 40%, that's the gross profit divided by your turnover times 100. Your net margin is your operating profit divided by your turnover times 100. And sort of 15 to 20-ish isn't that atypical, you know, in an awful lot of industries really. So 19% net margin. Right, let's just say that we could take some time to work on our business. We apply a few key strategies, generally about 10 over the course of a year. Could you make 5% improvement in a few of those numbers? And I'm sure you'd say, well, of course you could. So let's just look at it. Let's say we could increase all the ones we've asterisked in red by 5% to start with, and we could reduce our two costs again by 5%. And what we'd do there is we'd look at all our suppliers, we'd see whether we can get extra discounts, we'd rationalise them, we might sort of cut down on our stock levels, we might cut down on wastage, we might order fewer lines. There's lots of things we could be doing. We'd look at all the expenditure we're making which we don't currently use, so we're wasting money. We could easily find savings, and let's just say we can find 5% both off our variable costs and our overheads. If we do that, we end up with these figures. So the leads are 5% more, 1260. The conversion is 5% higher, 63%. We end up with 794 customers. The price is 5% higher because we do things like we have gold, silver, bronze package. There's various strategies we can implement, or we may even just put our prices up. So we end up with slightly higher prices, 210. We get people to buy more from us. So we can do that in various ways. We can have a cross-sell and an upsell, which means they buy more things when they buy from us. So that increases the frequency of transactions. But there's other strategies we can use as well, like diarising when we contact them, having regular offers, etc. So we get that up from 2 to 2.1. They're only small numbers, these. And our turnover goes up from 288 to 350,000. Our variable costs we've cut by 5%, so they go from 120 to 114. Our gross margin automatically then goes from 40 to 46, which is a huge improvement, simply because we've got a slightly higher average price and a slightly lower direct cost. Our gross profit is now 46% of 350, which comes to 161,000. Our overheads are 5% lower, 57,000. We take those off. We now end up with an operating profit of 104,000, which is 89% higher than there. So just a few 5% improvements, we've almost doubled our profit. Our net margin has gone from 19% to 30%. But what if we could just make 10% improvements in the asterisk ones in red and leave the variable costs and the fixed costs? All we've done is shave 5% off them. So if we had 10% more leads, it's 1320. 10% higher conversion is 66. 10% higher price is 220. 10% more transactions is 2.2. Our revenue now becomes 421,000. Variable costs are still 114. We've got a gross margin now of 48 because our price is slightly higher again compared to previously. So 48% of 421 gives us a gross profit of 202. Our overheads are 57. We end up with a bottom line operating profit now of 145, which is plus 163%. So it's nearly 3 times as big. So understanding these numbers, understanding how they relate to each other, and understanding how huge an improvement making small improvements in a few key numbers there can make an absolutely dramatic difference to your bottom line profit. And it's simply a question of setting time aside then, maybe an hour a day, maybe not even that much. But if you could find an hour a day to work on your business, I'm sure you could find these sort of improvements and make the sort of dramatic difference to your bottom line that we've just been looking at. So I hope you found that useful and interesting. Thanks very much for watching. To find out how to apply these strategies in your business, go to my Sales Accelerator Roadmap. I'll produce a free assessment of your marketing using an algorithm program and produce a 12-page detailed report. We'll recommend in priority order exactly what you should be doing, when you should be doing it, and how to do it. So go to www.bernardkeevymentor.com and sign up for my free Sales Accelerator Roadmap. You'll see this screen. It'll show you the Sales Accelerator Roadmap, which is free today. It'll show you how to fix your marketing, increase your sales and profits. It'll take less than 45 minutes to do, and our software will pinpoint all your opportunity areas and show you exactly what to do to improve your marketing and grow your business. So go to www.bernardkeevymentor.com and click on the green button, and you'll see that it says there it's a free process, so there's no credit card involved, there's no charge. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that useful, and I'd like to see you at the Sales Accelerator Roadmap. Thank you very much for watching this video.